Hi, it's Hans at ahappierman.com. Today's topic is why I recommend the 3-step system to improve your life. Well, I think every self-help guru, everybody who knows anything about success will talk about the think and grow rich, right? Think well of yourself, have high self-esteem, work on your confidence, do all these things to improve your mind, get smarter, get more wise, get more, knowledge of specific areas. That's all getting your mind right. And I think everybody can understand the action. You're going to have to do something in order, once your mind is right and you know what to do from that getting your mind right part, you take an action to better your life, to better your circumstances, to make an improvement, to gain more happiness or prosperity or abundance or whatever you're trying to gain, the action part. But what I'm suggesting is, what they never seem to talk about is the 3rd step. And I think that 3rd step is very critical. And the 3rd step is to rest, heal, recharge, and grow. Your successful people will naturally do this, and your unsuccessful people will naturally not do this. So let's think of it this way. You're unsuccessful if you're working like 2 or 3 or 4 part-time jobs trying to cobble together some sort of a survival living situation. You're going to be unsuccessful because you won't have any time for the 3rd step. When are you supposed to rest, heal, recharge, and grow? You're not going to have the time for it. You've got to carve out that time and know that it is of critical nature that you have time for the resting. And I kind of stumbled on this because when I was married, I didn't have any real free time, and I never had a chance to rest. I never had a chance to heal. I felt like I was always getting, beat up, not just verbally by my verbally abusive wife, but just kind of mentally. I was drained. I never slept a lot. I always felt tough, exhausted sometimes. I never felt well. Well, I didn't have the 3rd step, right? I was taking tons of action. I wasn't doing the right actions because my mind wasn't right. I was doing all the wrong actions. But let's just say, discussing the 3rd step, I wasn't ever really resting. I was never really doing anything recharging and healing. And, recharging and healing is more the, sitting around with your feet up, going out doing things that you like to do that are, somewhat pleasant. And it, kind of depends on your capacity, what you consider healing and recharging. If you're high energy, you may need to do something very active as a healing, as a recharging. But a lot of us aren't going to be that active. So your recharging is probably going to be just taking naps, making sure you rest enough, getting proper sleep, doing some lounging around. If you have a hard day of work or multiple hard days, you need time to kind of recover from that. And you have that built in with the weekend. I would say the weekend probably isn't long enough for most of us to get fully recharged. You'll get to Monday and you're still tired and exhausted. Well, if you have that happen to you, you're off kilter from the 3-step system, you're not going to have that much success. You want to build into your life a feeling good. So I have to always be watching my energy level. If I work too much one day, I probably will have to work less the next 1 or 2 to try to get back into balance. I'm very, very careful with my energy and how I feel. I've had some success avoiding illness. Now, I have had some good injuries, but I'm from weight training, but I'm starting to learn how to back it down. I have all the weight training videos on how to keep yourself from getting injured and have built-in capacity for your resting and growing in the healing stage. So it's critical. And I don't see it. I've read Think and Grow Rich many times. I don't remember reading any part about that. Now they did allude to some of the critical elements in the book. Certainly they did discuss, if you have a bad marriage, it's best to get out, otherwise your life is going to be a total mess. And that was a very good point in the book. And I think the reason this isn't mentioned in your normal outlets is a successful, abundant person just assumes that everyone would have enough common sense to get plenty of rest and plenty of time for healing. Well, what I've found is that is totally wrong, that most people don't have enough common sense to do this. And even if they did, their lives are like a total mess, so they can't even take the time to rest because of this mess they're in. That's kind of what I was in. I knew I needed to rest more, tried my best to do that, but my wife, she was just too overwhelming and powerful of a force to allow that. In her mind, I should be going to work at 7 in the morning, getting home at 7 o'clock at night from work, 11 and a half hour day, have supper, have a dinner for 5 minutes, and then work from 7:05 until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then get up at 6 o'clock the next morning to do it all over again. And that was her way of thinking. This kind of lifestyle, this is kind of where, you see a lot of men get driven into an early grave. So if you're in that type of lifestyle, man, you have to get out. You have to get out. You have to. I'm sorry, you have to. There's no way you're going to have any kind of a life if this is what you're doing. You need time. You need plenty of time in the evenings, early in the mornings, on the weekends, on their holidays, on your vacation days, just to be downtime, not doing much. And then, you get yourself built up, you get yourself recharged, you feel good, you're growing, you're getting stronger, you're getting more wise, you're knowing what's good for you and what isn't. And then when sometimes you're going to have to take massive action. You're going to be really busy on something. You'll have to pull an all-nighter at work to get something done. You'll have to spend all weekend helping somebody re-roof a garage. You might be moving yourself, and you want to save the money from the movers, so you do most of the work yourself. Well, if you got the capacity for it, you will be able to do that. But a lot of times you won't have that capacity. You'll be too run down already. So you really want to think about this. This third step, the resting, the healing, the recharging, and the growing is very, very critical. You always want to build in plenty of time for this. Always build in plenty of time and then take more as you need it. Yeah, give that idea some thought.